Welcome, dear audience, to the second installment of Rebel Moon, Scargiver.
Ooh, you're hard.
Because for some reason, Netflix loves greenlighting buckets of AIDS instead of renewing great shows like Archive 81. But before we begin, we need to remember what happened in Rebel Moon Part 1, The Moonering. Totally bad guys show up out of a space vagina, then bully a bunch of peasant farmers into giving them some food, while wearing 1940s Germany clothing. Because that's a totally original allegory. Well done, Snyder, no one has ever done that before. And no doubt, he got rejected from Alien Art School too. So the definitely not a strong female of power, who later turned out to be a strong female of power, is big mad about that, as she used to work for them as a generic female of power who was evil. So went on a galactic crusade to rustle up a merry band of one-dimensional Netflix diversity quotas to totally fight the bad guys. But there was a bit of an issue. The first being gay space aliens for some kind of reason, and the second because they got double-crossed by an Irish bloke that they met down the pub. Oh, who would have thought? And they all had a bit of a rumble, and by that I mean the bad guys missed every shot they fired, even when standing right in front of them, but the good guys didn't. So evil Shitler then falls off a cliff and doesn't die to death because he's a cyborg or something. Literally no one cares, but all of that was done without a single Star Wars copyright infringement. Backstory over and film begin, where we're in a totally bad guy spaceship and Space Shitler has just woken up from the ouchies he got in the Moonering. Because remember audience, falling and impacting the ground at near terminal velocity doesn't make you into a pile of baked beans, you just take a nap for a while. So Shitler, who's also suffered 0 brain injuries, tells the commander Dickface, "You'll never believe this, bro. You remember that totally a female of power used to work with us? You know, she waved a couple of flags once? She's on that moon, bro. She's moonering right as we speak." "My god," he says, "that must mean she's moonering without a license. We must immediately arrest her." Which will be the plot of this movie. Scene transmission, and here we are arriving at Moon Rohan after assembling Team Diversity, where Blondie from the Moonering is like, "No way, this is incredible. Hey, small-framed, non-threatening evil guy turned good because of toxic masculinity or something. Female of power is back, and she has diversity on her side. We should totally go see them." But as she says that, they're interrupted by an incoming call on the space telephone. So Simpy, the guy who was raised, trained, and worked alongside totally evil guys, and when they started doing evil things was like, "No, I can't believe these guys are evil." Gets talking to the evil spaceship man saying, "Hiya, nice to see you again, and yeah, so we're gonna harvest all that grain we talked about in 5 days time, and then we can all take it. Oh, and all the evil guys here are still totally alive, and they're doing evil things, so no need to worry about it. They totally didn't all die in a Moonering." "That's great news, but what was that last thing you said?" "I said no one's dead, all healthy, everyone's doing just fine. See you in a few days time, love you, bye." That was weird. But he must be telling the truth. And while that's happening, the 6 one-dimensional Netflix diversity warriors, who are somehow going to defeat an entire army, get chatting in a barn where the female of power tells all the peasants, "Listen up, you stinking farming scum. You may think we have Space Shitler coming after us, but I can absolutely assure you he's dead. Dead, I tell you, no chance of ever coming back because he literally fell from an extremely high height and probably hit the ground at near terminal velocity. And because he's absolutely dead, the evil spaceship guys will need to return to their planet immediately, as that's protocol when a general dies to death." "Oh, that's a complete and utter relief," they all cheer. "This is fantastic news." Not so fast. I just got a call from the bad guys and they're still coming for that grain. And they will probably kill everyone to death once they find out what happened in the Moonering. "No," they all cry. "That must mean that an entire minute of dialogue that we just had was completely pointless." So they need to get thinking. How are we going to protect the shithole farm? "I know," replies General Titus. "This'll have a village meeting," where he gets telling them, "Look guys, we are fucked. Big time fucked. But if we all become friends and harvest all that grain out there, we can negotiate with the bad guys by giving it to them and then not dying to death." Which is a great plan! We'll see how that one works out. Oh, and then Female of Power and Simp Man do the sex because Why not? But it was here when she starts revealing a dirty secret. Hey, Simp Man, you know, I'm really hard, and I used to be the princess's bodyguard, right? And then I was on a spaceship with her about to do princess shit. But I was told by my adoptive father that I must kill her to death. Because we're really evil. So I killed her and her bitch ass parents died too. In a knockoff red wedding scene. But I was double crossed because my adoptive father blamed the whole thing on me. And then ordered my arrest. But because I'm a female of extreme power, I blasted my entire way out of there. I was so upset. I cried big time. Well, you sound like a complete and utter cunt. Also, you literally deleted a child. Oh, not my fault. I was just following orders. It's a valid excuse. And then it was never mentioned again. So let's head to the following morning where it's harvest time. And they've got like 4 days left. So everyone gets their scythes and their spades out, ready to bring in some of that sweet wheat. But oh, would you look at that, audience? There's Theresa May running through the fields too.
The fields of wheat.
But wait a minute, something has just occurred to me here. So they have fucking space lasers, space swords, which are definitely not lightsabers, and they have space trailers attached to horses, and there's ships out there that can literally create space vaginas, but not one of them has a John Deere tractor or a space combine harvester to do the job instead. Get the fuck out of here. This shit is dumb as hell. Oh, but at RCW, they're meant to be alien Amish farmers. They don't use that kind of technology. They literally have a hoverboard space trader. They're using technology. Scene transmission to the totally evil guys because everyone forgot they existed. And it seems that they're having a little bit of an issue on their ship. As although Schittler fell off a cliff and he's absolutely fine somehow, he's actually no longer in command of the ship due to mild injuries that he sustained, and they must follow set procedures before he can regain command again. Because, you know, he might now be retarded. Well, usually you would think that it's totally fair to ensure the health of your commander before they regain command. But remember, guys, he's totally evil, and the only way it can be accurately shown on the screen is by Schittler shooting that guy because he was the one who brought the procedure up. Oh well, he's so evil, could never have worked that one out. Completely pointless scene over. And seriously, that was a completely pointless scene, and we're back with the Mooners, who just got done farming while Simpy calls the bad guys, telling them, yeah, so lots of farming going on here, and everything is going to plan. Oh, that's great, they reply. Hey, where's the other evil guys we left with you? Are they enjoying themselves? We haven't seen them for ages. Yeah, they're totally out there right now making everyone work without payment. It's basically slavery and we're evil. Oh, that's tremendous. Can't wait to come see you again. Yep, definitely. Gotta go now, guys. Love you. Bye. Kisses. But little does Simpy Man know, the bad guys are onto him. They know that all of the toxic white males from the Moonering are dead. And they figured that all out because Schittler did. Oh, what gave it away? Literally, no one knows, but Schittler does for some reason, so it's gonna be big wartime. Next day, where it's all about that bell cracking, as Titus has something to say to the villagers. Listen up, maggots, I have the greatest plan anyone has ever had on this flat moon. How's about we take all that grain, get onto some spaceships, then fly away for a while and wait for the bad guys to show up, realize that we're not here, and then bugger off. It will mean no one dies. Oh, that's a tremendous idea, they all cheer. That will mean LRCW won't have to watch another fucking hour of this shit film. I truly am a genius. Oh wait, sorry, forget that, bad idea. What I meant to say is, you know all that grain that we just harvested? Well, what we're gonna do is place it right next to all of our houses, so when the bad guys turn up, they won't blow it all up to shit, as that will mean they will no longer get the grain. And they really want to eat it. As well as that, we'll also go get all the weapons the totally dead evil guys had in the Moonering, and then dig some trenches to give us the element of surprise. Oh, and we'll give all of you a quick rundown on how to fight with guns and swords, because although the bad guys are fully trained with combat experience, we can match that in a few hours. And we'll also use the spacecraft that those bad guys left here too. Because although we're outnumbered, it's our love for one another that will keep us together. Well, with that poorly constructed montage over, here's Titus and the Scooby-Doo gang having din-dins, where he realizes it has been a whole 5 minutes of runtime and he hasn't made an inspirational speech. Hey guys, it's Titus. Since we're all going to die to death, I might as well give you my backstory. Ahem. I'm bald. And I was once a soldier and there were a bunch of guys in the Galactic Empire who were voting for freedom. And I really respected that, but I was with the bad guys at the time. And when I refused to kill the freedom guys, they killed a load of guys and now I'm really sad. Hey, it's my turn, androgynous they them here. I too was on a planet. And those evil guys showed up, made us into slaves or something, then a bunch of diversity rebels turned up out of nowhere as well, and then killed the bad guys, so then I joined them. Hey, it's me, female Jackie Chan. I was alive once too, and I was on a planet and there were loads of fires because the bad guys came and they blew everyone up. I was so sad, so I chopped my arm off and then became a cyborg, and now I'm a female of power, honouring my warrior ancestors. Hi, it's me, Plank of Wood. I too was Younglia once, and my parents were king and queen, and when we tried to be cool with the evil guys, they killed my father. And Buckbeak from Harry Potter was there, and then the bad guys invaded my planet, and my mum exploded because she jumped off a building. It was so sad, but I escaped to become a refugee. A real one, not one of those fake guys in a dinghy. Hey, it's me, Bitchface. You may know me as strong female of power, and my backstory is even sadlier. I was an orphan doing orphan things, but also I was in the evil guy's military where I was Hardlier. I felt so alone, but now that I'm with a bunch of farmers, it feels like I have family, and that's what matters most. Backstories over, and it is planning time where General Titus gets to inspirationally speaking again. Hey everyone, when the evil guys come tomorrow, we all take their officers hostage and then kill everyone else and negotiate with the bad guys to leave us alone because, well, we'll use the hostages against them and have absolutely no way of defending ourselves if they decide to blow our moon up. So it's morning time and the very evil guys are finally arriving, but sadly no space vaginas. And that means it's planned go time where strong female of power hides behind a waterfall that is falling out of the top of a peaked mountain, so where the fuck is that water coming from? And she gets out of the little spaceship, and I shit you not, there's a robot. Remember? The robot that was in the Moonering for 5 minutes where it couldn't harm anybody because computer says no, then could hurt people because fuck it, the script demanded it. So she's like, sup James, and that completely blew his nuts. Because it has a program code in its head that gave it false memories of some guy called James or something, and it's really, really sad, and that's the reason it can now hurt people, or something or other. Literally no one cares, but it just fucked off already to Deus Ex Crapina, the good guys later. Alright then, so what are the other guys doing? Well, they're also getting ready with bombs and shit in the trenches that they dug out in a day using spades without a single John Deere tractor in sight. But it doesn't matter as the bad guys are arriving and Schittler works out immediately that the grain is located around the houses so they won't destroy the moon from space. Wow, it was very convenient that he worked that one out immediately, or those guys would be totally fucked right now. Then identifies where all the women and children are hiding, so plans to kidnap them, hold them hostage, and then get the grain. Tremendous, mate! So sends forth all the ships, like an entire invasion force that will no doubt have absolutely no aiming skills, like in the Moonering when they're all standing right in front of him and still somehow manage to miss. What a complete pile of shit! So it's party time after landing, where the strong female of power has given herself a professional Turkish haircut using scissors, even though that's clearly a buzz cut. Oh, but it makes her look really intimidating. Nope, just makes her look like another generic copy and pasted female of power with zero personality. Anyway, back to the parley, where Schittler asks her, what do you guys want? I want to kill you all to death, replies the female of power, because I am very strong. Ah yes, the Scargiver, the one who gave me this scar because now you're randomly called the Scargiver in this film for some kind of reason. even though I don't remember anyone mentioning it in the Moonering. Hey, how's about you don't die today? Just walk away, you 1940s bigot, and I won't slaughter you all. So go ahead, take all the grain, and get the fuck out of here. What? As you keep female empowering right now, we're currently surrounding all the women and children, and we will kill them. But to save everyone from absolute death, instead, all you have to do is forfeit yourself and it'll all go away. Yeah, okay, that sounds fair enough. Let me just go hug my simp goodbye. Because I can't let all these people die for me, not on this moon. But as she hugs Simp Man goodbye, he takes her gun and shoots the bell that signals that it's go time, boys. So it's big wartime with slow motion, massive explosions, and everyone is fighting, hardly anyone is dying. I am very much invested into this. So I'm going to give you a rundown of exactly what happens. Shitler is a robot and then kicks a guy's ass because of Skynet or something. Female Power gets to the ship that she hid in the waterfall and blasts all the way up to the bad guys because again she's a genius, and then attaches a smoke grenade to the ship to pretend that it's busted so she can dock straight into the maintenance bay and then do a terrorism with a bomb that she's got from the inside. Okay, that's quite smartly. Well done. Here's a small tick on the blackboard. So while that's going on, let's check up with General Titus. Well, he's giving another classic rousing speech to the villagers as it has been about 10 minutes now. If we don't fight them extra hardly, then we're all gonna die. So all the Netflix extras get running into the space bullets. And they're dying. But not Mr. Titus, who's clearly standing right in front of them, and not a single bad guy has a shot on him. Oh, and also, female Jackie Chan is dying because, well, she got into a light sword fight and then just straight up died. It's so sad, I cry big time. It's like we barely even knew her backstory. So what's going on with the bad guy's ship right now? Well, the female Power is now going incognito mode by wearing their armor. And okay, that could work very smartly. But killing a bunch of them and leaving their corpses in a lift while trying to sneak around is quite possibly the dumbest shit I've seen since Rebel Moon 1 The Moonering. Anyway, she gets to sticking some bombs into her face or something, which I guess is the ship's core. Don't know, don't really care. But little does she realise it also has eyeballs because of some kind of reason, and then she gets caught at the precise time that she didn't want to get caught, so she starts killing a load of people. Now it's cover blown. No, how will she survive this one? And whoops-a-daisy, now Shitler has given the order to fire the space lasers down onto the moon. But Captain Dipshit's like, no, but that would be all the grain. It will die to death too. Nah, don't worry about it, Shitler says. We now have the female Power on board, which is exactly what I wanted all along. I am a genius, and also a cyborg for some kind of reason. So it's go time to find where she is, because just like in Alien, she's moving around the ship mysteriously. But let's head back to the moon for a moment, where things are going very, very well. As it turns out, no one could die to death somehow, and also bringing an axe to a gunfight actually works. Who would have guessed that? But sadly, the bad guys now also have a very big gun tank machine that is turning everyone into a minced potato. And that really upset the plank of wood, as they now face impossible odds to defeat it. So he gets telling the androgynous they-them. Ah, bro, I thought all I wanted to do was to die in battle. But now I realise I was wrong, dead wrong with AIDS, because I don't want to die. Don't worry, Plank, we can die together as they-thems. Let's go shoot a bunch of guys. But wait a minute, who's that weird thing standing over there? Right over there. Well, fuck me, audience. It's the robot and it's now killing everyone who can't kill it to death. Yay! The stakes have never been so high, and I didn't expect the robot to show up at the precise time that it needed to and immediately solve every fucking issue that the good guys were facing. Take a bow, Schneider. That's a brilliant Deus Ex Machina. Well, with that being really, really easy, let's head back up into the ship where they're now charging their big guns to blow up the moon. And judging by what just happened with Robot Face, they're totally going to get stopped at the very last second. Oh, and also, Female Power is currently taking a line off of 20 men, and would you believe it, she's beating them all off at once. Oh, but those stakes, they were so high. So she goes to see Shitler ready for round 2 after the events of Rebel Moon 1 The Moonering. Where, let's face it, she's gonna female power him to death even though he's part cyborg. But while they're measuring the sizes of their female bulls, the big guns are about to go fire on that moon down there, and it's going to really hurt. But wait a minute, at the precise time that they were about to fire on the moon, the bombs all went off, so that means the moon ain't gonna get blown up after all. But those sticks, they were so high, could not see that coming in my morning coffee bowel movement. So it's big fight time between the cyborg Schittler and the female of extreme power, with definitely not lightsaber light swords. And it's really intense with like fire and the ships falling over at the exact same time, where Schittler is now getting the upper hand. And she's gonna die. Like, really die, because there is no way she can win right now. Little does she realize cinematic history is about to be made, because Simp Man turning up out of literally nowhere to stab in the back and then get him trapped in a door and then chops his head off was definitely not on my bingo AIDS card this morning. But those stakes, they were so high. Anyway, ship crashes and they fly out in another ship just in time not to die to death. Fucking tremendous, mate, well done. But wait, there's more. Simp Man got really injured, so straight up fucking dies. His name was Simp Man. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, the super rebel leader of extreme power just randomly shows up with the rest of her DEI rebels, and proceeds to destroy all of the leftover bad guys, and again, literally out of nowhere, just showed up randomly. What fucking drugs is this guy on? So everyone's really happy about that because they faced impossible odds, but overcame it with friendship, love, montages, and the classic Deus Ex crappener. Oh, and remember that part earlier in the film when Bitchface killed the princess? Well, General Titus just dropped a steaming log, because it turns out she's not actually dead or something. So that means they're all gonna go fight for her or something. Oh, and then Skynet turns up too, saying, hey guys, I know I've barely been in both of these films, with only like a time of 10 minutes, I'm coming too. Therefore, Rebel Moon 3, the Moonering, is confirmed. So anyway, yeah, that's the film ended. I mean, I've seen a lot of shit, but I never thought I'd see literal televised diarrhea, but there we go. This is the 2020s after all, the decade of cringe. Also, $10 whole of Schittler not really being dead because he's a cyborg or something, and Snyder is so out of original ideas that that's the only thing he could probably think of. Big shout out to our Patreon boys and guys, Stephen P, Taylor J, The Wonderful Mr. Wolf, Bill Blake, Annie W, ConspiracyQuery.net, Hetzer J, Ryan C, T Reeves, and of course, The Mighty Pen.
Subscribe button.
Always right.
Subscribe button.
Always right.